going to talk about Julian Assange. He's won the latest stage of his bid to fight extradition to the US. He won a High Court bid to be allowed to bring an appeal even against extradition to the US over those espionage charges, some 18 charges he faces, basically as the WikiLeaks founder who released hundreds of thousands of documents related to America's fighting of the Iraq and Afghanistan war and revealing some criminal wrongdoing. Well, let's talk to Professor Andrew Tettenborn, who's a writer and a legal academic and joins us right now. Good morning to you, Andrew.
Good morning, Julia.
Thank you very much indeed for joining. So how significant was this victory yesterday? Because in every single court case we have, anything that comes to court with Julian Assange, it's always just sort of winning a right to sort of appeal against an appeal against this, against that. We haven't even got to any substantive case yet, have we?
I think that's right. Basically, it's not that he's won his appeal. He's merely got the right to bring an appeal. In other words, the court said this isn't a non-starter. My feeling actually about Jonathan Assange, about Julian Assange, is that I don't hold much of a candle for him. I don't like what he did. But assuming he loses his appeal, which is not unlikely, I'm actually rather worried that he can be sent to the United States. There are a number of reasons for that. One of them is that it shows that we've actually become a very soft touch for extradition.
Yeah. We don't. We hand over far more people to the United States than the US hands over to us.
Oh, you're quite right. Uncle Sam, I suspect, were the tables turned, and were we asking for someone who'd broken the Official Secrets Act, Uncle Sam would be very likely to say, "Well, thanks, but no thanks."
Yeah.
But actually, also, there's a further point, which is that if you extradite Julian Assange, this is an enormous threat to a free press.
Yeah. But that's been quite a debate, hasn't it, about whether he was a journalist or not. He was certainly working with journalists when he revealed a lot of the WikiLeaks documents, working with the Guardian and others.
I don't care whether he's a member of the NUJ or not. What's worrying is this, that he has absolutely nothing to do with the US. He's an Australian born in Queensland with no connection with it. He is publishing material in England in collaboration with English newspapers. And here comes Uncle Sam saying, well, you have broken US law. You have broken the US Espionage Act. We want you to send this guy to us, but on the technical ground that he suborned somebody else to get some secrets out of the United States. Now, that's very, very worrying indeed, because it means that, you know, if I write something on actually almost any country in the world, and the authorities in that country come along and say, that bastard Andrew Tettenborn has written something awful.
Apologies for that language, by the way.
Sorry,
it's 10:56 in the morning. Apologies, anybody.
That guy Andrew
move on.
Something we don't like. Can we please have him? And, you know, it's all very well to talk about the US doing it, but it could be India, it could be South Africa.
Well, this is it. I mean, you know, Bradley Manning, or Chelsea Manning, as he wants to be known now. I mean, he broke the, he was an American citizen. He had access to this information. He breached his own conditions of employment and broke the American law and American soil. But I never understood why Julian Assange should be, that law should apply to him. It always seemed bizarre to me. I'm with you. Don't hold a candle for the guy, but I don't think he should be extradited to the United States. Do you think, though, that he will likely lose that case?
If I was a betting man, and I must admit, I normally don't bet because I have a horrible habit of losing.
You think he will? He'll be extradited?
Man, I think in the end he'll be sent. There is actually another point which this shows about our extradition law. There is a case for going back to the idea that we don't extradite people for what are essentially political offences.
Yes.
Basically, we used not to. We then changed that with Europe because we had to under the European arrest warrant. And then Tony Blair said, oh, I think being tough on criminals will pay. I'll extend this to all other countries as well. I don't think we should be doing other countries' dirty work in sweeping up subversives.
No, exactly. And again, we had, case, a woman in bad driving kills a British motorcyclist. They won't return her to the country, but we'll send over a foreign national from ours. Really good to talk to you. Time's against. I did want to ask you about the International Criminal Court. Can I sneak that in? I've got about 30 seconds. International Criminal Court issuing an arrest warrant for Netanyahu as well as Hamas leaders. What do you make of that?
One, it's a very politicised court. Two, this is a bit of devilment. What it's aimed at doing, actually, is saying we want to prosecute Hamas, but we'd like to equate Israel with Hamas.
Yeah.
It's the same viewpoint as used to say, we don't like the IRA, but we'd better bring in the British government as well as equally complicit.
Indeed. Thank you so much for joining us. Do come on the show again. Professor Andrew Tettenbaum, a writer and legal academic. Thank you for that.